Your driveway is not stained. Your patio is not discolored. That concrete you have been embarrassed about for a decade, the surface that makes your house look abandoned while your neighbor's gleams like it was poured last week, that concrete is the exact same gray it was the day the truck left. The original color has not faded. It has not aged. It has not deteriorated. It has been buried alive under a living carpet of organisms and organic compounds that you have been power washing off the surface once a year, while the colony underneath laughs at you and grows back in 60 days. I need you to understand this. The black on your driveway is not a stain. It is a population. The green on your patio is not discoloration. It is a colony. The dark streaks under your gutters, the brown shadows around your planter pots, the overall gray-black film that makes 20-year-old concrete look 50 years old. Every single one of those marks is a living organism, a layer of algae, mold, mildew, or lichen, feeding on moisture and organic matter, reproducing, expanding, and anchoring itself deeper into the porous surface of your concrete with every season that passes. And pressure washing, the $200 to $500 service that every neighbor recommends and every driveway cleaning company sells, does not kill a single one of those organisms. A pressure washer is a fire hose. It blasts the visible surface growth off the concrete with brute mechanical force. The organisms that are rooted in the pores below the surface, the microscopic threads and spores that survive the blast because they are embedded deeper than the water stream can reach, those organisms begin regrowing the moment the concrete dries. Within 30 to 90 days the stains are back, and you pay another $300. Meanwhile, there is a powder that does not blast organisms off the surface. It kills them. It penetrates the pores of the concrete, reaches the embedded root structures, oxidizes the cell walls, destroys the reproductive spores, and leaves behind nothing but oxygen, water, and a mild cleaning salt that rinses away with a garden hose. No pressure washer, no gasoline engine, no $500 service call, no regrowth in 60 days. The powder is sodium percarbonate. It costs $2 to $3 per pound. 1 pound treats approximately 200 square feet of concrete. An entire standard 2-car driveway costs $3 to $5 to treat. And the pressure washing industry, which generates over $2 billion annually in the United States alone, has every financial incentive to make sure you keep hiring them to blast organisms off the surface that a $3 powder could kill at the root. Welcome to Camping Secrets. If these stories matter to you, the subscribe button and the bell are the best way to make sure this knowledge survives. This is where we dig up what the industry buried. Now let me take you inside the concrete itself, because the reason your driveway looks worse every year despite cleaning it every year is not neglect. It is biology. And until you understand what is growing in your concrete and how deep it goes, you will keep paying to remove the symptom while the disease thrives underneath. Concrete is porous. It looks solid to the naked eye, but under a microscope, cured concrete is riddled with capillary pores, gel pores, and microcracks that form during the hydration process as the cement sets. These pores range from nanometers to millimeters in diameter. They absorb water. They absorb airborne dust. And most importantly, they absorb and retain the microscopic spores of algae, mold, mildew, and lichen that land on the surface from the air, from rainfall, and from contact with surrounding soil and vegetation. These organisms are not passive stains. They are living ecosystems. Algae are photosynthetic microorganisms that produce the green and greenish-black film you see on shaded or north-facing concrete surfaces. They require only moisture, sunlight, and a surface to adhere to. Concrete provides all three. Mold and mildew are fungal organisms that feed on organic debris, dead algae cells, pollen, and leaf tannins that accumulate in the concrete pores. They produce the dark black and gray discoloration. Lichen is a symbiotic organism, a fusion of algae and fungus growing together, that physically anchors itself into the pore structure of the concrete using root-like structures called rhizines. Lichen can survive pressure washing because its rhizines extend below the blast depth. Every one of these organisms produces pigmented compounds, chlorophyll, melanin, and other chromophores, that discolor the concrete surface. The stain you see is not dirt sitting on top of the concrete. It is biological pigment produced by living organisms growing inside the pores. This is why pressure washing fails as a long-term solution. A pressure washer operating at 2,000 to 3,000 pounds per square inch strips the surface growth and the top layer of accumulated debris, It does not penetrate the pore structure where the organisms are rooted. Within weeks, the surviving spores and root fragments inside the pores begin producing new surface growth. Within 1 to 3 months, the driveway looks nearly as bad as it did before the pressure washing. The service must be repeated annually, sometimes biannually, at $200 to $500 per visit. Over a 20-year period, a homeowner who pressure washes annually spends $4,000 to $10,000 on a service that has never once killed the organisms causing the discoloration. They have been paying to mow the lawn without pulling the weeds. Here is the chemistry that the pressure washing industry does not want you to understand. Sodium percarbonate is a white crystalline powder with the chemical formula 2Na2CO3.3H2O2. It is an adduct of two compounds you already know: sodium carbonate, also called washing soda or soda ash, and hydrogen peroxide. When sodium percarbonate dissolves in water, it separates into its two parent compounds. The hydrogen peroxide then further decomposes into water and reactive oxygen. That reactive oxygen is what changes everything. Hydrogen peroxide is a powerful oxidizing agent. When it contacts the cell walls of algae, mold, mildew, and lichen, the reactive oxygen species attack the lipid membranes, denature the proteins, and destroy the DNA of the organisms. The organisms do not just detach from the surface, they die. Their cellular structure is chemically dismantled, their pigments are bleached, their reproductive spores are oxidized. And because hydrogen peroxide is a liquid that follows the same capillary pathways that moisture uses to enter the concrete pores, it reaches the embedded organisms that no pressure washer can touch. The sodium carbonate component serves as a powerful alkaline cleaning agent. It has a pH of approximately 11.6 in solution. This high alkalinity emulsifies oils and greases, saponifies fats, and dissolves the sticky organic biofilm that glues dirt, pollen, and dead organic matter to the concrete surface. The combination of oxidative kill from the peroxide and alkaline cleaning from the sodium carbonate produces a 1-2 punch that addresses both the biological growth and the organic grime simultaneously. And when the reaction is complete, sodium percarbonate breaks down into three things: oxygen, water, and soda ash. All three are environmentally benign. Oxygen dissipates into the air. Water evaporates or rinses away. Soda ash is a naturally occurring mineral found in lake beds worldwide. You can rinse the treated concrete into your lawn, your garden beds, and your storm drain without environmental concern. Compare that to the chlorine bleach that many homeowners use, which kills surrounding grass and plants on contact and introduces chlorinated compounds into the watershed. If you have made it this far, you already know more about concrete microbiology and surface chemistry than 99% of homeowners and the vast majority of pressure washing operators who charge $500 to blast water at a surface without killing a single organism growing inside it. Subscribe and share this with someone whose driveway is the dark one on the street and who has been too embarrassed to host a barbecue because the patio looks like it was abandoned in 1995. Now stay with me, because here is exactly how to use it. And this method treats the organisms in the grime in a single application, without a pressure washer, without a rented machine, and without any equipment beyond a bucket, a broom, and a garden hose. Step 1. Purchase sodium percarbonate. It is sold as oxygen bleach, OxyClean powder. The active ingredient in OxyClean is sodium percarbonate, or as pure sodium percarbonate powder from online chemical suppliers and some hardware stores. A 2-pound bag of pure sodium percarbonate costs $3 to $6. A name brand product like OxyClean costs $8 to $15 for the equivalent amount of active ingredient diluted with fillers. The pure powder is 100% active ingredient. The branded product is approximately 50 to 60% active ingredient. For maximum effectiveness at minimum cost, buy the pure powder. Step 2. Mix the solution. Dissolve 1/2 cup of sodium percarbonate powder per gallon of hot water. Hot water is critical. Sodium percarbonate dissolves slowly in cold water, and the hydrogen peroxide release is delayed. Water at 120 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit activates the compound rapidly and maximizes the oxidative power. Mix in a 5-gallon bucket. 5 gallons of solution treats approximately 200 to 400 square feet of concrete, depending on porosity and stain severity. Step 3. Pre-wet the concrete surface with a garden hose. Dry concrete will absorb the cleaning solution too quickly, pulling it deep into the substrate before it can work on the surface organisms. Pre-wetting fills the shallow pores with plain water, forcing the cleaning solution to remain on and just below the surface where the biological growth lives. Step 4. Apply the solution to the concrete. Pour it directly from the bucket, use a pump sprayer, or use a watering can for even distribution. Saturate the entire surface. Do not let any area dry during the treatment. If the sun is drying the solution before the dwell time is complete, apply more solution. Step 5. Wait 15 to 30 minutes. This is the dwell time that allows the hydrogen peroxide to penetrate the pores, kill the organisms, and bleach the pigmented compounds. You will see the surface begin to lighten during this period. Dark algae patches will fade. Black mildew streaks will visibly brighten. The chemistry is working in real time. Step 6. Scrub with a stiff bristle broom or deck brush. This is the mechanical step that lifts the dead biological material and loosened grime from the surface. The sodium percarbonate has killed the organisms and broken the bonds holding the debris to the concrete. The broom removes the residue. This is far less effort than scrubbing untreated concrete because the chemistry has already done 90% of the work. Step 7. Rinse thoroughly with a garden hose. A standard garden hose with a spray nozzle provides sufficient water volume to carry the dead organisms, dissolved grime, and spent cleaning solution off the concrete and into the drainage path. No pressure washer necessary. If you do own a pressure washer and want to use it, the results will be even more dramatic because the organisms have already been killed and loosened before the mechanical blast. The combination of chemical kill plus pressure rinse is the professional protocol used by restoration contractors. Step 8. Allow the concrete to dry fully and evaluate the results. For lightly stained concrete, one treatment restores the surface to near original appearance. For heavily stained concrete with decades of biological growth, a second treatment 1 week later addresses any remaining deep pore organisms that survived the first application. Total material cost for a standard 2-car driveway of approximately 400 square feet. Approximately $3 to $5 in pure sodium percarbonate. Total time investment. Approximately 45 minutes, including mixing, applying, waiting, scrubbing, and rinsing. No fuel cost. No equipment rental. No service appointment. No $500 invoice. I need to be completely honest with you about limitations. Sodium percarbonate is highly effective against organic stains, biological growth, and surface grime. It is less effective against deep oil and grease stains that have penetrated into the concrete pore structure. Motor oil that has soaked into a driveway for months or years requires a different approach, typically a degreaser or a poultice treatment. Sodium percarbonate will clean the organic layer around and over the oil stain, but the petroleum stain itself requires a solvent or surfactant-based product. Work on an overcast day or during cooler hours, morning or late afternoon. Direct sunlight and high temperatures cause the solution to dry too quickly, reducing the dwell time and the effectiveness of the treatment. Ideal conditions are 50 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit with cloud cover. Pre-wet surrounding vegetation before and after treatment. While sodium percarbonate is dramatically safer for plants than chlorine bleach, concentrated solution that pools on grass or garden beds can cause temporary leaf burn. Rinsing dilutes the concentration below harmful levels. Sodium percarbonate powder is an irritant in dry form. Wear gloves and eye protection when mixing. Avoid breathing the dust. Once dissolved in water, the solution is mild enough to contact skin without concern, but the dry powder can irritate eyes and airways, and one detail that extends the time between treatments from months to years. After cleaning, apply a concrete sealer. A penetrating silane or siloxane concrete sealer costs $20 to $40 per gallon and treats 200 to 400 square feet. The sealer fills the surface pores with a hydrophobic compound that repels water. Without moisture penetrating the pores, algae, mold, and mildew cannot establish root structures. A single sealer application after cleaning can keep concrete looking freshly poured for 3 to 5 years without any additional treatment. The $3 sodium percarbonate treatment kills what is there. The $20 sealer prevents anything from growing back. Together, they replace the annual $300 to $500 pressure washing cycle permanently for a one-time investment of $25. Sodium percarbonate has been used as an industrial cleaning and bleaching agent since the mid-20th century. It is the active ingredient in every oxygen bleach product on the market. It is used in commercial laundry detergents, hospital disinfection, wastewater treatment, and food processing sanitation. Its chemistry is fully understood, fully documented, and fully safe for residential use. The only place it does not appear is in the pressure washing truck parked in your neighbor's driveway, charging $500 to blast water at organisms that will grow back in 60 days because nobody killed them. They were displaced, not destroyed. A $2 billion pressure washing industry depends on the organisms surviving. A $500 annual service contract depends on the stains returning. And every dark, mildewed, algae-covered driveway in your neighborhood depends on the homeowner, never learning that the difference between pressure washing and sodium percarbonate is the difference between cutting weeds and pulling roots. But now you know the difference, and the powder costs $3, and the organisms die instead of relocate. That driveway you have been avoiding looking at for years could look freshly poured by this weekend. That patio you have not hosted a dinner on because the concrete embarrasses you could be clean by Sunday. And that annual pressure washing appointment could be canceled permanently, replaced by a $3 treatment and a garden hose. The concrete was never stained. It was colonized. And evicting a colony requires chemistry, not a fire hose. If this vault changed how you see the concrete around your home, subscribe and share this video right now. Every share puts this knowledge in front of someone who has been paying $500 a year to push organisms around instead of killing them. Every subscription keeps this channel digging deeper into the vaults they thought were sealed forever.